Hey friends, it's Laura. Welcome to my channel. I'm coming at you with my first video in my 2020 Scrap Therapy album. If you want to hear more about this album, I have a video explaining how I'm going to be using it and my memory keeping plan for the year. And I figured I would sit down and do a chat about how I plan to do the start of this album. So as you can see here, I've already recovered my album and there's a video on that. And I've added this gorgeous velvet pink ribbon, which I can use to tie a bow and keep it shut when it gets a little chunkier. And I'm going to be starting on the inside of my album today. And this is the first photo that I have that I wanted to include, I think. And this photo was actually taken about mid-December, and that's when I had chosen my one little word for 2020, and my word is glow. And when I saw this photograph that I had, I really had a strong idea about what I wanted to do for a page in my album. I really wanted to have the word glow somewhere in gold on this photograph and have it at the beginning of my album. So because I knew I wanted some gold alphabets if possible, I've grabbed a couple of my gold alphabets to see which ones might work best. Giving it a quick look, I think I like this glitter right here. Now, I had originally thought that I wanted my photo to be right here and then for me to have a whole page talking about my one little word, but I don't have anything else to go right here really. So I'm unsure right now how I want to do this. Maybe, see, I have some New Year's Eve photos that I could do to be the start of my album, but I kind of want to use this photo first since it was taken first back in December. So yeah, not really sure here. I also have this idea of having like a little scrap piece of paper that's kind of like torn right here with a little quote on it. Just kind of making some pages that are different widths and heights throughout this album. So it's more of like a mixed media art journal-y type of place. So I think maybe what I could do here is put my photograph right here since I wanted to cover up this back tail end of my ribbon here. And then my photograph would still be facing this way like I wanted, but I wouldn't have to put anything else in front of it either. So yeah, I think that's what I'll do. So I'm going to cut this photograph down, that way it will fit over there on that page. I printed it really large because I wasn't sure if I wanted it to be a full page photo. But since I already have some patterned paper that's folded over from my cover on the other side of this page, I wanted to cut my photograph down a little so that way that border would still show. And now I'm just using a little piece of acetate. It's like a clear planner insert that I had, and I'm using that to put on some of my different gold alphabets so I can try it out on my page without sticking those alphabet stickers down, so I can figure out which gold will look the best. And it's so funny, I always say this, but watching the video back, like the first alphabet that I chose, it would have been fine. But I didn't like how large the letters were in real time when I was looking at it and trying it out. So I move over to some other gold alphabets and yeah, try them out. And I decide to go with this little one from Felicity Jane. It's really cute. And that is my one little word for the year. So once I chose a font, I finally got that down, and then I put away all the other alphabets I had grabbed out. And this scrapbooking thing is always a lot of indecision for me. And then I've also grabbed a couple pieces of scrap paper here that I was thinking, this is just part of like an envelope or something. I'm not sure what it held. But, oh, you know what? I think a cookie came in it, actually. So I was thinking about, like, tearing it or cutting it into a semicircle right here. And then, like, putting a quote on it or something. But I don't think I'll know which one of these I want to use until I know what's going on the back side of this. So first I'm going to tape this down. Ooh, actually I kind of like it right there now. Darn it. Trouble, trouble, you know? But then I don't know what I would put on the inside of the album. Commit, Laura, commit. See, this is the sort of thing that I deal with on a regular basis, and usually I would cut all of this out of the process video so you don't have to watch me sit there with indecision. I really like it over here, but you know what? I'm just going to put it over here for simplicity's sake so I don't have to worry about what I will end up putting right here. And maybe this will be helpful for some of you, but I have really been living by the motto, good is good enough lately. I don't need it to be perfect. I just need it to be good enough. Trying to center this. It feels so high pressure. All right. Good enough. There's a little more room on top than there is on bottom, but that's okay. We're just gonna pretend like that's even. And there's a little bump behind the photo where the back of that ribbon is and where my little 2020 puffy stickers are on the front of my album, but that's okay. Next, I guess we dive into how I want to start my album. And I'll show you a rough draft of the kind of page I was thinking would go next to my glow. And this is what I had drawn in my notebook when I was brainstorming what exactly I wanted my one little word to mean for the year. And I have all of these different branching off ideas with different goals or basically things that I would like to work on throughout the year. So this is what I was thinking I would have on the other side of this page would be like what exactly I wanted my one little word to be. And then I was thinking something with a semicircle right here that would have like a quote on it or something in one of these patterned papers. But now that I'm looking at it, I don't want glow on both pages here. So I think what I might actually do right on this page is print off New Year's Eve photos and do like a New Year's Eve spread. And I have this piece of acetate right here that came out of a planner. So what I would have to do is cut this out. And you can see here I tore one of my pages out of the album. It was one that I had already painted on when I was using it as a mixed media notebook to practice painting. And so what I'm doing is, and I did it for the cover here, you can see how my patterned paper goes below the rings. I take a pencil and I trace the holes here, and then I just use my scissors and cut in and cut the holes out. And that way I could actually put in any custom paper that I wanted to into the album. So I'm thinking I might do that with acetate. And once I have the photos here in the acetate or vellum that they are going to go on, then I can decide which of these papers will look better to do like a semicircle or torn type of situation. Ooh, this kind of looks cute like as an envelope, and I could put in some tags or something. Maybe that's what I want to do. So I've got my photographs here and I'm going to get to work cutting them out and arranging them. You can see I took so many pictures on New Year's Eve. So many, but yeah, I was really excited. I love New Year's Eve. It's one of my favorite holidays, probably my second favorite after Christmas. I also love 4th of July too. I just love holidays. So yeah, and I hope you guys don't mind this type of video where I have the voiceover and the real-time talk during the video. You'll have to let me know what kind of video you prefer. This is obviously a longer video. I'm showing you more of the real-time process and what it looks like when I sit down to scrapbook scrapbook and how I make decisions, and if I have an idea for a page before I get started on it. I know I've had a couple of people ask me about my process in my voiceover videos, and I try to reassure them that scrapbooking takes much, much longer than the 10-minute videos I usually give you guys, and I struggle with indecision and trying out different elements to see what I like best on a page, and I usually just cut most of that stuff out so you don't have to watch it. So yeah, I'm trying this new kind of video this year where I kind of show you some of that, and it ends up with longer videos, a lot more chit chat, but hopefully it will give you a better look into my process in case you're wondering what that looks like. So yeah, you can see here I cut my photos out and I used that piece of paper that came from my Scraptherapy album that I had torn out. I used it as a template and I just traced the marks where the holes need to go. And yeah, I've got that cute little glassine envelope there that I've cut so it can be inserted into my album, and I wrote this letter to myself that I'm going to stick inside of the envelope. And I love this idea for the letter, guys. It's such a good way to show self-love. And what my letter was is a letter to myself a year from now, and I wrote it from the perspective as if I had achieved every goal and focus that I had set out to this year. So thinking about my one little word and my focus and everything I hope to achieve this year, I wrote a letter to myself a year from now as if I had accomplished it all, and how proud of myself I was and all the changes I saw in myself and that kind of thing. And it's a very, very encouraging, motivating type of self-love letter you can write to yourself, and I highly recommend that you try it out if you've never done it before. And I thought that would be a really fun and encouraging thing to add to this envelope and to this album. And then in a year from now, I can go ahead and read that, and hopefully a lot of the things that I set out to do will have been accomplished, especially with that extra help of the visualization and writing a whole letter as if I had accomplished it and how I felt about all of that. Those can all be things that help encourage you to actually go after those goals and make progress. So yeah, definitely a good method to try out, a good motivator and encourager. And you can see here I'm just decorating this little envelope. I had arranged the photos that I thought I was going to use on that transparency behind the envelope, and I did decide to go with the envelope instead of the pink polka dotted patterned paper I was thinking about going with, and I think that just worked out perfectly because I love the letter idea that I ended up including. So I almost always start every single album off in my past years with some kind of sequin shaker page at the beginning that has the year written on it. And I think I want to do something like that this year, except for instead of having the year written on it, because I have it on the front of my album right here in glitter gold, I kind of want to write like a scripty fun font that says Happy New Year's on it. And so I've got this 12 by 12 page protector here that I can cut down, and I can always, I guess, do some holes in the side here. I have the perforated edge on this side that I can make it so it can be an insert here, and then I can use the fuse tool to fuse it. And I think that's what I want to do here, and I just need to figure out what sequins I want to put on the shaker page. So to get started, I need to look at my sequins. I think I want to do like a black, white, and gold, because as you'll see throughout the New Year's Eve photos, it was like gold, silver, black, and white were like the big colors, and we all wore like sparkly dresses and headbands and all that fun stuff. So yeah, I think that's what I want to do here. And then I'm just going to keep the colors going on over here also in mind, since they will be appearing on the same spread together. And I've got this little container here of Felicity Jane sequins, and these are black, white, and gold stars. So I thought that could be a really good start. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put these inside of my page protector so I can see what they look like. Yeah, so that's nice. Just need to add a lot more stuff to it. So next I'm obviously going to need some more gold. So I'm going to look at some of my gold sequins here. I've got some gold hearts, but I don't know if you can tell the color difference here. These are like orange gold and these are like almost like a silvery yellow gold. They don't really have the same tones. This is like a cool tone and this is a warm tone. This one is definitely warmer. I could use those. Ooh, we've got some fun starbursts here. I think that would be great. And they also look like sunbursts have like this Art Deco-y theme too. That's perfect for the 2020s because our theme for our New Year's Eve party was the 1920s to ring in 2020. And then we've got some gold stars here that I could also use, although I don't know if I want to use them also using these starbursts over here. Also have some silver I could use to bring in some of the silver that's on the following pages. Definitely going to use clear. I use clear and sparkle in all of my sequin mixes, every single one of them. We've got some iridescent, shines all the colors. And typically I gravitate away from the iridescent stuff, but I kind of like that it reflects all the colors going on this other page over here. So I might use that. Definitely add some white. Or do I want some more iridescent white? Maybe some iridescent white and some flat white. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good start. And then obviously we'll have to throw some pink in there. Maybe some warm pink. Trying to think. I wish I had some black sequins. That's okay, I don't need them. I've got plenty. Ooh, I kind of love the silver stars too. That's gorgeous. Yeah, I think we're off to a good start here. We have a lot of choices. So I'm going to get started putting different amounts of these into here and seeing what I like. As you can see, I managed to use up a lot of sequins in creating this page, which is exactly what I want to do this year, is really focus on using up some of my stash. So I'm very excited about that, and I have a whole video showing you what my sequin stash looked like at the beginning of this year. So yeah, this is just one thing I've made to help use up some of my sequins, and I'm excited to dwindle down my stash. And then I just cut down this page and fuse it shut. That will complete this sequin insert here. And yeah, I think it turned out absolutely beautifully. I'm going to show you the first few pages in my album here. As you can see, this is what it looks like. We've got so many photographs and I just love it so much. We've got my one little word of the year when we first open up, and that gorgeous photo, which I think really just takes my one little word and lives it out in a photograph. So I love that picture, and that was also the day I had decided on my one little word for the year, and a very good and encouraging day. So I loved starting off my album with that photograph. And then I've got the letter to my future self a year from now. You can see I added one of my photographs there. Obviously, I did not use my Instax camera on New Year's Eve because you saw me cut out all these photographs, but I found a free template where you can print your photographs into the Instax template and then just print it out and cut out the white frame around your photos. So that way it looks like you had the Polaroid or Instax photos when really you were just printing out on printer paper, which is much, much, much cheaper. We've got the Happy New Year, the letter to myself, and I love it. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, this longer video, a little bit different than usual. Let me know which of the kind of videos you prefer, if you like to see more of the process like this, or if you prefer the really short and sweet videos where I cut everything out and kind of show you just the bits where I made decisions. So yeah, let me know. I hope you have enjoyed this video, guys, and make sure you are subscribed to my channel if you aren't already. Leave me a comment down below letting me know how you're feeling about the Scrap Therapy album so far and how your scrapping is coming along for 2020, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye!